The storm began quietly, as most storms do. A law passed in secret, stripping farmers of their land and placing it in the hands of wealthy elites. Families who had tilled the soil for generations found themselves pushed out overnight, their fields stolen, their homes burned. The leader stood among them, not as a ruler, but as one of their own. By day, he worked the same earth they worked. By night, he spoke of a dream that few dared whisper, the dream of freedom, dignity, and unity. In his village, children ran barefoot through dusty streets, unaware of the storm gathering on the horizon. Neighbors still sang songs around the fire, but there was unease in their voices, fear in their eyes. The people trusted him, but trust was fragile in a world where betrayal lurked at every corner. And while he did not yet know it, his name was about to become a symbol of hope for some and a threat to others. Then the crackdown began. Soldiers marched into villages with rifles and torches, enforcing the will of the elites. Families who resisted were beaten, their crops seized, their huts reduced to ash. The leader watched his people's cries echo through the night, and something inside him ignited. He began to organize secret gatherings under the stars. Farmers, mothers, students all came to listen, their hearts pounding with both fear and courage. Each whispered meeting became a spark, and soon sparks turned into flames. But with every act of defiance, the danger grew. Informants lurked among the crowds. One word spoken in the wrong ear could lead to imprisonment or worse. Still, the people rallied behind him. For the first time, they believed they were not alone. Yet whispers of betrayal spread, and the leader knew that before freedom could be won, sacrifices would be demanded. The government struck back harder than before. Arrests multiplied. Entire villages disappeared in the night. Mothers searched for their sons, fathers begged for their daughters. And the leader? He became the hunted. His face was plastered on every wall, his name cursed by those in power. Yet, the more they tried to silence him, the louder his message grew. Crowds gathered in defiance, chanting his name. Each rally was more dangerous than the last. Soldiers fired into the air, sometimes into the crowd itself. But fear could not put out the fire that had already been lit. One night, as the leader prepared to speak, he was warned someone close had betrayed him. The authorities were coming. He had a choice: run and save himself, or stand and risk everything. His answer would define not just his fate, but the fate of his people. And so, the moment came. Surrounded by thousands, the leader stood on a wooden platform. Soldiers marched in, rifles aimed, eyes cold. The crowd gasped, torn between fleeing and standing their ground. The commander barked an order: surrender, or everyone would pay. Silence fell. Then, the leader raised his voice, not in fear, but in defiance. His words cut through the night: "You may break our bodies, but you will never break our spirit." A roar erupted from the people, a sound so fierce it shook even the soldiers. Shots rang out. Screams followed. The leader fell, struck down before the eyes of his people. For a moment, time stood still. Blood soaked the earth he once tilled, but from that sacrifice rose something greater. The people who once whispered now shouted. The fear that bound them shattered. And his name became immortal. The soldiers thought the story ended with his fall. But they were wrong. His death lit a fire that no bullet could extinguish. Villages once divided by fear united under his memory. Farmers returned to their fields, not as servants, but as owners of their destiny. Students carried his words into the future, writing them on walls, shouting them in protests, teaching them to children. His sacrifice became the seed of a movement that spread far beyond his homeland, inspiring countless others across Africa and the world. Even today, his story is told not as a tale of loss, but of triumph. Because he proved one truth: leaders may fall, but their courage lives on in the hearts of the people. And now, the question remains: when the next storm comes, who will rise to lead?